Hey there, you great people. I really hope you have been doing so well. And thank you, by the way, to my newest subscribers. I'm going to give a shout out into a minute. Let me just get into what we're doing today. I'm going to be doing an Indian dish. So yes, another curry. This curry is called Chicken Korma. And it's a very mild curry and silky smooth. I'm just going to go through the ingredients we've got here. So very fine, it's very important, you very finely chop a red or green or brown, whatever you want to call it, onion. I've used red. About a tablespoon of fresh ginger, tablespoon of fresh garlic, tablespoon of coriander, fresh, and tablespoon of jalapeno pepper. By the way, if you don't have fresh ginger, garlic, coriander and chili powder, just use powdered versions instead, so maybe half a teaspoon of each of those 4 ingredients. I'm also here putting half a tin of chopped tomatoes. The tin's 400 grams, so it's about 200 grams of chopped tomatoes, and with that I put about 200 millilitres of water just from the tap. I'm also going to be using, and it's sort of cheating, yes, Navratan Korma cooking sauce. The reason why you might be asking yourself, why am I not cooking this fully from scratch and why am I using a jar, is because the korma, being a very mild and silky smooth curry, relies heavily, because cooking up from scratch, using double or single cream. I'm lactose intolerant, which means I can't really have any milk products, so I could not use double or single cream in this dish because I'd be really ill. And in this jar, yes, there is some milk product, but it's literally 1-2%, something like that. So I can get away with that just about. I'm going to show you the chicken as well here. We've got about 400 grams of chicken here. I've all chopped it all up about 3/4 inch to 1 inch. On the whole chicken, obviously I put a little bit, probably a quarter or half teaspoon of black pepper, about half teaspoon of salt. Then I've put probably half a teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of garam masala or allspice, whatever you want to call it, probably about another half teaspoon of chili powder as well. It smells delicious already, and obviously the chicken's raw. That's been marinating, by the way, for about 2 or 3 hours in the fridge, but you could do this as little as half an hour before I put the spices on. Put it away in the fridge and leave it to marinate and take in all them amazing spices. What we're doing in a minute, for the second time ever, I'm going to use this amazing wok my girlfriend bought me a week or 2 ago, and all I've done in here is I've literally put just 1 tablespoon of cooking oil. I've used rapeseed oil this time, but you could use sunflower oil or vegetable oil. We're not trying to put too much oil in this because, like I said, it's a very silky smooth curry. And mild, and not too much oil, not too greasy. It's quite a healthy curry. We're going to get this wok up to temperature on about 3 or 4, so medium high, and then we're going to put our onions in, which we've very finely chopped. So we've just got our wok up to temperature. By the way, this is a medium sized red onion, but like I said, if you use brown or green onions, it doesn't matter. The important thing with this is that your onions are chopped very finely, and also, like I'm using, if you're using half a tin or 200 grams of chopped tomatoes, even though they're already chopped, I've actually mashed them up with this fork so it's a little bit smaller and smoother, because the idea with this curry is a very silky smooth finish and no massive lumps. So as you can probably see, we got our pan up to temperature on the sort of medium high, and about 4 again, with these very finely chopped onions. And by the way, I've used a medium sized red onion for this, but you can use normal green or brown onions. The key with this is to make sure that the onions are very finely chopped, and even though I've used half a tin or 200 grams of chopped tomatoes in here, and already chopped in the can, I've also mashed them up a little bit more with the spoon in here, because the idea of this curry is a very silky smooth finish. We do not want massive lumps in there. On about a medium high, I'm sorry about the lens, these onions will take just a couple of minutes, probably about 2 minutes. Just keep stirring them every now and then, and flipping them round. They won't take long, like I said. Again, I'm sorry about the steam. What I was just saying, new subscriber shout out to Jim Oz, KWJ, Jazzy, Babouche, Messi, Anthony, Shamir, Marif, Adora, Karen, Kirik, Ronald Muyo, P.J and Mr. Ben TV. Thank you all so much for subscribing to this channel, and I really hope, along with my existing subscribers, you're really enjoying this content. Do these onions now for about another minute, because it's been in a minute, just 2 minutes, that's all it takes, and we'll be on to the next step, which will be adding the chicken breast. So we've done our onions now on a medium high for around 2 minutes. Get them sizzle away nice, so they're absolutely done and softened up. It's now time to add our seasoned and diced chicken breast. By the way, it's important with your chicken breast to take it out of the fridge maybe 10-15 minutes before you're going to cook it, to get it to room temperature, because you don't want to put freezing cold chicken straight from the fridge straight into the pan. You want to get to sort of room temperature, because you want to seal the chicken off. If we take it out of the fridge and put it straight in the pan cold, it'll boil to start with before it starts sealing, and we'll lose a lot of the juices. Let's put that in there, that nice sizzle. And it's important with this now, you get everything all mixed up together. It's really hard not to fog the flames up as well. And just do the chicken again on about a medium high for sort of 3 or 4 or 5 minutes until you're sure the chicken is white all around with actual chicken breast pieces. It doesn't matter, it's still a little raw in the middle, because remember we've still got to add our tomatoes and our jar sauce. Yeah, I'll give this about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes and I'll be back. If you can see now, I've done the chicken. I'm constantly turning it, moving it, flipping it. It's all nicely sealed and changed colour. Done it for about 4 minutes on a medium high, and don't be afraid if the pan starts to dry out to put a tablespoon of water, a couple of tablespoons of water in there, but keep stirring it all the time. It's now time. We're going to add our garlic in the pan, coriander, remember about a tablespoon each of these, and the ginger. And like I said, if you do not have, oh, and the chilli, of course, I'm forgetting here. Like I said, if you do not have these fresh, let me grab the ladle, give that all a good stir around. If you don't have these fresh, just use powdered ginger, garlic, chilli and coriander, and maybe just use about half a teaspoon of each. We're going to do these now for about a minute and keep moving it all the time, and then we're ready to add our wet ingredients, our tomatoes and our jar of sauce. Right, so our chilies, garlic, ginger and coriander, they've been in there about a minute. I'm constantly moving it around the pan. It's now time to add our 200 grams of tinned tomatoes, chopped ones, which I've chopped and mashed up even finer using a tablespoon, because I want this to be a smooth curry. And we're going to put those into the pan now. All of them in. Like I said, half a tin, 200 grams of chopped tomatoes with 200 millilitres of water there was in that jar. We're now going to open our Navratan korma sauce and put that in a moment. So as you can see, I've just added the 200 grams of tomatoes with the 200 ml of water. I've also added the jar of the korma sauce, and after adding the jar of korma sauce, I've then put tap water in here, filled it about 3/4, almost full with tap water, put the lid on and give it a shake. We're going to add that water, and this is a 350 gram jar, by the way, so maybe 300 ml of water. And we're going to reach over my ladle and give this a very, very, very good stir around, just to combine everything very nicely. At this point, we'll put the heat up in a minute to about 5 out of 6, so slightly above medium high, until it comes to a slight rolling boil. At that point, we're going to knock the gas back down to around a medium, about a 3 out of 6. Let me get this up to boil. As soon as I am, I'll be back with you. As you can probably see, since I added all the liquids, I put this on 5 out of 6, so quite high. I've only done it for probably about 5 minutes, constantly stirring until we've got this rolling boil here. What we're going to do now is go down from a 5 out of 6 down to, I'd say, about a 2 or 3, so medium or medium low. Probably simmer this now to reduce it down, which obviously means loosen the water we've added, which intensifies the flavours and spices within probably 20 minutes. But don't just leave it alone, give it a good stir in every sort of few minutes. But yeah, we'll simmer this down now to get all the amazing flavours out. Reduce it down, which of course will thicken it up so it's not so watery, and those flavours are going to be amazing because the smell is already incredible. I'll be back once this is reduced down and ready to serve up. Right, so after 20 minutes on about medium, the chicken korma is definitely reduced down now and thickened up nicely. I'm not going to try and tell you how to serve the chicken korma. You can do it whatever rice you want. You could just literally put this on a plate on a bed of rice, pilau rice, the Indian yellow rice, long grain rice, Mexican rice, however you like it. I don't actually have any rice at the moment, so I'm literally going to serve this with no rice, but I'm going to have this amazing pita bread, which I've toasted for about a minute. Then I've put a little bit of olive oil spread, but you could use normal margarine or butter on this, just a little bit when it's hot. A little bit of garlic powder and some chopped fresh coriander. And again, if you've not got fresh chopped coriander, it doesn't matter. Use powdered coriander. So that's going to be on the side, and this is going to go into something that is called a bowl. I've just put 2 tablespoons of water in the bolty bowl, and I put it on a ring here on about a medium. I'll do this for about 2 minutes. It's quite a thin metal bowl, just to warm the bowl up, and once that's done, I'll ladle in some of the curry into the bowl, put that on a plate with this nice pita bread on the side. Give me a moment for this bolty bowl to warm up, and we'll get finishing up and serving here. By the way, I'm sorry guys and girls, I actually for the first time ever forgot to record the outro where I'm plating up and everything else, so again I'm sorry. Remember, you only have a few days left to get the guesses in for Guess the Candies in the Whiskey Bottle. Please, in the meantime, go and check out my other great content and playlists on this Paulbhustlin85. And please do not forget to like, especially subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thank you so much.